Why don't we go back a couple 100 million years? There's no TikTok, there's no people. There aren't even dinosaurs or fish or even worms. But there is life. That was nothing fancy, just some individual cells floating around in the ooze, but it was life, and that's more than any other planet I know of can brag, so pretty good. So then, how did we go from being a bunch of little blobs floating around in the ooze to people sitting on their phones watching TikTok? Well, the honest answer is we don't really know, for sure. Turns out it's kind of difficult to tell what was going on with microscopic cells hundreds of millions of years ago. But we do have a pretty good idea how we all got started, and if I'm being honest, I think it's pretty fascinating. It all has to do with this one special molecule called ATP. Now, I'm not a biochemist, I'm not going to be able to explain it that well to you, but here's what you really need to know. Your cells, any cell, they need ATP to do pretty much anything. Now, because of that, it means cells need a whole lot of ATP, and they need to be making it constantly. And for something as small as a cell, that's a lot of hard work. Now, if only there was a way for a cell to get more ATP easily, then it would free up all that energy to do all kinds of stuff. Well, one day, all those eons ago, we think that two cells found a pretty good solution to that problem. So it all started when one prehistoric cell just swallowed another different prehistoric cell. Now, to be fair, that kind of thing happens all the time. It definitely happened all the time back then. Cells ate other cells. But this time was a little different. You see, the cell that swallowed the other one, it didn't actually eat it. It let it stay alive, and that was a very good idea. See, the cell that it had swallowed, it turns out it was really, really good at making ATP. In fact, it made enough for the both of them. So these two cells started working together, and it really started to pay off. They mixed their DNA together and became essentially a single organism. That little ATP-making cell we've been talking about, that became mitochondria, which is now in almost every single plant, animal, and fungus cell on Earth. So teaming up worked quite well for those two cells, I would say. It allowed them to succeed and thrive and reproduce, and eventually they became the origin for all multicellular life on Earth today. Every single fish, every worm, every dinosaur, every forest, every coral, you and me, all of us can trace our origins back to that one moment hundreds of millions of years ago when two cells decided that two was going to be a little bit better than one.